This is no longer what it was. This is already showing what it's showing. This is already showing what it's showing. Considering everything I've explained to you, I'm not sure if we'll surpass this level convincingly. This is already quite short. Yes, it's already gone. It's already gone. It's already sold. The fish has been sold. Do you see how it's dropping? It's because it's already done. The fish has already been sold. See how key this is? Wow, guys, did you see it? Did you see that? Did you see it? What happened in this candle? Crazy, right? Let's analyze this very interesting market, which we all like so much, the crypto market, as it could not be otherwise. This drop is very good, isn't it? This drop that here seemed to us the sale right at the extreme. We have to see how it evolves, right? Let's analyze. Let's analyze especially the altcoins, although it is clear that we are going to. First, we are going to catch up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have started to adopt this habit, which I think is very healthy. I think it is a very good habit, since Bitcoin and Ethereum are one thing and altcoins are another. There's nothing more to it, really. Well, as a summary, yes, we are going to talk for a moment about Bitcoin first. I think we are all on the same page. Good day, Leonardo. In Bitcoin, as I said, we give great importance to this trap, to this macro trap that they have absorbed here and have tested us. Here we value interesting areas that perhaps allowed us small scalping, but in the end it has come to do the classic test in the structure they had to do. They have done it here and they have reacted here. It gives a positive feeling to the market. It's nothing new that I'm telling you. It's something that we were already analyzing for some time, for days, even a week ago. That kind of concepts, remember that after seeing said impulse, we saw that when we saw this climatic action, the click to break was already forming. We already saw that it made sense for the drop to happen here. After that logic, we started looking for nodes of high volume to see reactions that we saw as exploitable in different structures, different levels of Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's the goal? See where you want to turn around. In the end, Zone 1 was operational for scalping. Perfect. Zone 2 as well, but it kept falling and falling. What was that really good macro level? Well, it's obvious. I'm sure we talked about this hypothesis. I bet you anything. Well, it's not your everyday thing. It's nothing new. Testing the defense zone to react. That's what they've finally done. Understanding that this trap, this aggressive recovery with this test and reaction, makes us have to be positive with the ecosystem, even beyond the correction we were looking for, of course, but because it's a natural thing, as they say, of what the smart money does. We shouldn't give it more importance than this, but that doesn't mean that. From what we've seen, we have to be positive in the end. They don't leave us any other choice. They don't leave us any other choice. Okay, that was Bitcoin. That was Bitcoin. Here's Ethereum. Let me check something. Here's Ethereum, right? Unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum didn't make the macro trap. It made a little trap, nothing more. I mean, we have to value the little trap, but it doesn't matter. And here, look, we're going to zoom in on Ethereum now. Let's give it the spotlight it deserves to. Okay, on Ethereum, what were we looking at? The level from 30 to 60. I remember it was this point here, the level from 30 to 60, right? To look for this kind of rebound, to see if that would take us there or not. But well, that was for scalping. You saw that it was interesting. The level from 29 to 94, plus the same for scalping. This was interesting, obviously, until the point it breaks and goodbye. But well, in the end, analyzing it crosswise, you have this in the live streams, their videos. I honestly don't remember, but analyzing it crosswise, we already drew and talked about this micro defense zone, and we saw it logical that the level of 29.94 could be pierced to visit that defense zone of Ethereum, which is this one here, in the end crossing all the info. Probably we made the drawing of Bitcoin reaching the macro defense zone. This one here, at the same time that Ethereum did it in the micro. I think we didn't make this specific drawing. Well, in the end, it's about being present in the charts and seeing what's happening at that precise moment. And in the end, you already have it. You already have it. We already talked about the importance of this macro zone. We talked about the importance of this micro zone for Ethereum. If you see that at the same time, in the same second, you see that they're colliding. If we were to zoom in, we're not going to do it here because you'll have it in the YouTube video, but we see that they come from an impulse channel range climatic action trap. There you will see that in the climatic action, there are deltas gravely oriented to the bit, which is a sale in a lousy zone where the retail investor starts selling because they see a strong bearish movement. I'm talking about this movement. And down here, the very wild ones want to start selling. We see that they absorb them in critical areas to climatic action on very relevant structural zones. Well, that's it. We are on the same page, colleagues. We are situated. You've been following the altcoins. I saw that many of you were buying Cardano, which went up a lot at that sweet spot we were analyzing, which was plausible to expect to be the starting module, and finally they decided to do it that way. I saw several colleagues talking about Cardano, talking about this point, eh? We gave it live. We were around here. We were seeing that by cross cross-analysis, it made a lot of sense that from this point on, we could already go up. In the end, this whole area matches with Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. How about it? Have you been looking for longs? What have you been doing, colleagues? Let me have your feedback before sharing what we think about the altcoins. What have you been doing? Colleagues, come on, participate. There are 38 members here live. If you don't say anything, you'll be 38 voyeurs. Participate, colleagues. Paco says good afternoon. Very good afternoon, Paco. Juan Ocam says longs. He's been looking for longs, only longs. Very good, Juan Ocam. How did those longs go for you? Did they go well? Did they go badly? Where did you look for them? Jesus says longs. He's been looking for longs. JBPA, he's already one of our favorites, you know that? He tells us a bit of everything, but not very convinced. Okay, and how did that go for you? Give us some feedback. Emiliano, yesterday I was long. Bobby Pokemus says I did a bad analysis. That potion burst on you. It turned out bad. That potion can't always turn out well. Bobby Pokemus. Gabrielle, I just went short out of nowhere because it broke a key level. Okay, good luck with your trading, buddy. Jonathan, looking for longs from the base. A legend. Jonathan, a legend, a legend, a legend. Ali tells us longs yesterday. I lost track of the chat. Longs from the bottom yesterday and shorts today. Great ale, as it couldn't be otherwise. Bobby Pokemus learning. That's what it's about, Bobby Pokemus. That's what it's about. No one is born learned in anything. Only Leo Messi with a ball at his feet. He was born learned. And Cristiano Ronaldo made himself. Let's see, Andre says long only. And now Andres has changed his name. Now he's Andres GSM Selu Chile. He says he's lost now. Well, now we're going to try to shed a little light. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's try it. Emiliano today, I don't know. Waiting for this pullback. JD Pa, the latest long and short in BTC, he tells us. Ale shares with us his short operation in Bitcoin, which he told us earlier that he was buying from the base. I want to understand Bitcoin's defense zone. And then he started going short. Very well, Ale, as he usually does. Paco tells us, I still don't dare to trade. I hope to have confidence in the analyses and be able to make a trade. Very well, Paco. Nothing. You have to put effort and dedication into it. Otherwise, you don't progress in learning. Julio Caesar, it didn't go so well for me yesterday. There are good days and bad days. It's clear. It's clear. Andres tells us he's considering whether to sell or stay in the wave. Okay, Bobby Pokemus. I imagine he's laughing about the fact that the potion burst on him, that they don't always turn out good. And here on Wakam shares with us is Cardano long plus 51%. That long? Let's see at what price level you did it. Surely in the defense zone. Let's see entry price. 0.438. As I said, he did it in the defense zone. 0.438. There he is bought here. Very good. In the end, he was surely one of those colleagues who shared his entry with us, or those who said, hey, look at Cardano. What a crazy move this is. Totally. This defense zone wasn't so obvious to see, but we saw it with you. We analyzed it. We found it, and it happened to be the sweet spot. That's it. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. This time good. And the colleague has made a 50% from the long 51.51. Emiliano also shares his long he's holding in Bitcoin. Of course, it hits you in the macro. You have to try. You have to try there. And if we're coming from a climactic action, well, very good. And well, AM tried long in BTC and Sol, but I closed it very soon. Well, it's okay. Well, the long in Solana and in Bitcoin. Very good, very good. Hey, they're very good trades. You don't have to worry about closing early. You did very well. Domi, I did terribly. Long and short, scalping and terrible. Learning with small amounts, says Domi. Well, you'll get better and we have to see what the community always tells us. They share key moments with us. They share key market situations and moments. All right, let's see. I want to see the moment that's happening here. We're at an interesting point worth looking at. Let's take a moment to look at Bitcoin, which interests me more right now. Honestly, there it is this. This was my mental obsession that I'm sharing with you now. Basically, here there's a toll, okay? You can break it perfectly. That's clear. The thing is, it's an indicator. It's just an indicator. Here there's a toll. If you want to pass, pay it. And if you pay it, it's because you're going to want to fall hard. That's a bit the message of Bitcoin, okay? I'll give you a heads up. The level is, I'll tell you, it's the current one. The level is 62,487. It's the current level. In the end, what grabs attention is this shake-up. Here they come. Sellers appear. Here's the smart money. Here it is, because it induces a fall, but then the price does. Quite the opposite. In other words, the smart money has induced the error, and here we have it located. Here we have it located. Therefore, it's a key level. It's a key level that if we see it being pierced convincingly, it could be an indicator that this bearish trend for the immediate short term will continue. Like a book. So it's a key point. We have to see what they do to us. If this closes for us here, well, nothing. Prioritize those shorts scalping for the short term. It's also true that we're at that sweet spot of, hey, what if it's a trap and it recovers me? Well, this is also an option. In the end, look, it hits hard, right? They want it. Yes, because look, let's cross the information. What is really being valued here? A potential trap. Of course, you see it clearly, right? Here's the guideline. This is what a flat pattern would be. Has the flat pattern broken up to go to the sky? No, it's returning to the structure. In other words, a potential micro-bullish trap is being put on the table. Therefore, we are considering whether they want to push the price down. And how do we monitor, control this assessment? With what, I've told you. Here, smart money has induced a fall. For what? Basically, so that the retailer down here wants to sell. Here, the institution buys and pushes. This is institutional presence. Not order blocks, not stories. Look, if you break this with strength, clearly, there's still time, for the candle to close. It's 4:20 here in Spain. Let's see. But well, the point of control, this is the checkpoint. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, the logic behind the failed flat pattern and all that stuff? Jose de Jesus says a bit. Okay, Jose de Jesus, tell me specifically what you would like us to go over and we'll do it without a problem. No problem. Okay, here's Ethereum. Let's remove this because we're not interested in it at all. Exactly. We're going to remove this already. Okay, it's just that look, thanks Ethereum. I'm not completely convinced that this will succeed. I'm not convinced, but okay. Here, the first thing to do is to update it, not what we've experienced. Just a trap. What do we have here? A structure that can develop over time. What else do we see here? Look, this is going to be key. Let's take a moment here. Okay, what do we have here? A micro defense zone question. And if this is the classic tricky liquidity hunt before continuing, and Ethereum validates it for us in the defense zone of this micro potential accumulation, well, that's a question to ask. That's why we're at a very key moment. Very key, in fact. So it's good that we've connected now because we have to see what happens with this. What happens with this fight? We can also ask ourselves about these purchases. The point of control for me is this, based on what I've explained to you. Okay? JBP tells us, what I used yesterday was the previous defense zone of 61,762. Okay. Let me explain this concept again because our colleague Jose de Jesus tells us that he doesn't quite understand it all. Let's see. We can be in those. What I'm telling you, pay attention, right? What happens when a defense zone is lost? What happens, colleagues, when a defense zone is lost? Kevin Molina taking advantage of the break to listen to us. Nothing. A pleasure, right? A pleasure. Colleague. Gabriel says it falls like a knife, correct? If a defense zone doesn't do its job and is pierced. Let's see who can stop that, right? Let's see who can stop that. Al says if it's going to be a short, you celebrate, correct? Correct, Ale. That's why Ale is there, seeing if that is pierced to invite us all to something, to a barbecue. Marco says it's going down straight away. Kevin Molina will wait to confirm to see if it collapses. Jonathan says if it loses it, pierces with strength, confirms and that there is more strength. Welcome to Crypto Insight, your ethical and moral channel for cryptocurrency technical analysis. Here, we really know what we're talking about. We conduct advanced technical analysis that has been developed for over 12 years. We upload videos several times a week. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, let me know and leave a comment with your opinion. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss the next opportunity. Okay, well, as I said in the end with cross-analysis, what we are seeing is that Ethereum is in a defense zone of this range. Bitcoin would be looking for some liquidity within Sucor. And all this fits perfectly. All this fits perfectly. I want to see a volume profile here to see what they tell us. Let's see what they tell us. There we are. Okay, let's see what our altcoin friends tell us since we understand the context. To summarize, okay? To summarize, Ale says, if it goes well and falls, as I hope, I'll invite you to a barbecue and whatever is needed. Damn, how kind you are. I'll ale to the community. Okay, let's look at this, right? As I said in the end, we've pierced through. We're seeing that in this institutional manipulation. They're here. Let's see if they protect or what. This protection falls in an area of great transactional interest, and if we analyze Ethereum, it's a micro defense zone within its range. What else do we see? Well, damn, we see a large volume now selling. The drop is being attacked strongly, and in Ethereum, we identify previous stopping volume, absorption, a sale that doesn't succeed. They absorb it, and in this attack, it comes with volume. They're trying to sell. They're trying to sell. What does this mean? Well, it would be very good against the interests of our colleague Ale, whom we wish the best and success in his operations. So let's see. What's the message? The message is quite simple. If all this selling that we're going to analyze in order flow, that we see the volume is being placed here, be careful. It's not that the volume is here and has displaced the price, but today in the candle, it's at the low. It better push because it's not being placed in the best of places. It's not something that dictates a sentence. Far from it. There's still an hour left, and in fact, look how it pushes and pushes. This breakout is already quite clean from the level we mentioned. It's quite clean. Okay, let's see Ethereum. Look at Ethereum. Look at Ethereum. Do you see where the volume is placed at the low of a candle to push? And when it's on the opposite side, it doesn't move. The same, right? It's placed at the bottom and it explodes. It's placed at the top and it explodes. That's why let's see how it develops, because there's still a lot left, right? Here in the end, it's a chart of their 1 hour candles. Look, if the price is able to withstand this, I mean, if it can't, that's it, right? For me, the fish is already sold and downwards, just like that, right? If you're up for an aggressive Ethereum scalping, $29.94, does that level ring a bell for you? What a coincidence, right? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. All right. Okay. More of the same, isn't it? Bitcoin. An aggressive scalping is a gamble. Very aggressive, huh? If this holds, doesn't it? The price tries to rise and can't. It's because it's about to gain traction. Do you get it? Why do we say this? Because if the volume is placed down here and then the price goes up and closes the candle here, for example, shorts are trapped. Terrible news for those shorting. But if we see that, okay, there's a lot of volume at a low point. In a simplistic way, we'd say that's not very good news. But if it turns into good news, if we see that the price can't pass here, it's because this sell-off is going to want to push. It's going to want to push. It doesn't matter if it's so low, it's going to want to push. Hence, an idea of aggressive scalping would be short entries here. Well, now that's it. Extremely tight adjustments. Very, very tight. Very tight because it's a very aggressive operation. Nothing's escaped here. It's already escaped. It's already escaped. Now it's going through this node, but it's already escaped. It's already escaped. It's escaped. Well, here's Ale. Ale is very happy, Ale. Ale is very happy. Ale is very happy. Okay, let's see. What we're seeing is this, right? They've already surpassed this. They've already surpassed this. We're at this node, which clearly won't be an immediate breakthrough. There will be reactions here. It's clear. It's clear. Okay, let's look at the chart. Oh, as I said, this is no longer this. This already shows what it shows. This already shows what it shows. Based on everything I've explained, it's not about whether we surpass that level convincingly. This is already quite short. Yes. What I was saying, don't look for that entry that hasn't happened because they haven't gone back up that little bit. It's already gone. It's already gone. It's already sold. The fish is sold. Like I said, we're at a classic key point of reaction, right? That's why the price here drops sharply and something happens here. Well, because there's a node of significant transactional volume that's going to make its life a little impossible. But the key level was this one. And this sell-off we see is still pushing. That's what I was telling you. Aggressive scalping. If it had pulled back and offered the opportunity here short and boom. But it hasn't offered that opportunity and the move is already done. Well, look, things happen. It's not always going to turn out fantastic, but this is already it. Okay, well, let's look at the altcoins, see how we can find opportunities. How good that this happened live, really, so we can see it together. Look, do you see how this pushes hard? Like I said, that's it. From the point where Bitcoin, from the point where Bitcoin surpasses this point for us. What we've seen is the volume down here. That's why the price had the obligation. Okay, you put the whole transaction here if you don't put it here. If the volume had been here, we see this push. Well, great. But they've put it down there, and if they put it so low, there's a risk that this gets absorbed and they go from there. Okay, once you go down, we can try to bet that they defend us to look for the short, but like I said, it hasn't offered that pullback that they offer 1,001 times. But I've said it. You see what I was saying? The fish is already sold. You see how it goes down? The fish is already very sold. You see it keeps going down. Okay, for the friend who said they didn't quite understand the explanation, look how crucial the explanation is. Look how it goes down. Look how crucial it is. Wow, man, did you see that? Have you seen that? Have you seen it? What happened in this candle? What madness? Yes, Jonathan says, oh my God. Ale almost had a heart attack. Domby says, amazing, Emiliano, wow. Julio Caesar, ASU, and it keeps going down. They absorb, this drops. They absorbed, this drops. This drops, they absorb. Watch the move, watch the move. They raised the price. They have nothing to do, and it dropped quickly. This drops, this drops, this drops. All right, impressive to have seen that live with you all. Okay, folks, let's analyze what we've seen. Let's says Eugenio says something crazy, Sabiano. We're going to hell, look at how it keeps falling. Huh, guys? A shame, right? That they haven't. Oh, 4 ticks up and we would have hit the cluster, huh? Well, here it's all about what Ale did, but Ale was already short from the top. Here Ale did it brilliantly. He was already short. He was already short. That's why the best entry is, or our great obsession is, anticipation. It's clear that you already know very well that we always come to the live sessions with a blank sheet to see what the next opportunity is. We spotted it. We'll wait for it to rise 3 points and then we sell. But no, it hasn't allowed it. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, what was the narrative? What was the narrative? The narrative was what I was telling you in this rise. This concept, I'm serious, is worth its weight in gold. Look at what we're experiencing live now because of these concepts that I've explained to you but that I want to repeat. Look at the following, okay? The price rises with great aggressiveness, right? Everyone sees that. Look at how it falls, I was telling you that the fish is more than sold. It's just, okay, the price rises with, you know why, right? Let's explain it. The price rises with great aggressiveness. Let's start with the traditional chart. What were we saying about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Hey, flat pattern, it seems like it's not working and it's going down. What were we saying here? Ethereum is in the flat pattern. We're at that point where, hey, either we're going up right now and this is all a trap and we're off, or at the slightest, we lose structures and we're off, we're going down. One way to see this clearly is how we can track in a much more precise way with order flow. And this is where we identify in Bitcoin's rise, like in the middle of the rise here, they inject selling that crashes the market, inducing the retail investor to sell. For what? To absorb and then rise. Is this concept understood? Is it crucial to understand this to continue? Is the concept clear that in a rise here, I generate a contrary movement to scare people? And when I scare you and the retail investor sells here, I take everything above upward. Payco says it's understood. Joe Jesus as well. Angel Chang says yes. This is really it's crucial. All right, you say yes. It's just that this excites me. It's just that here, it's clear in the middle of the rise. What the hell is this doing here? Clearly not pushing, inducing error and still rising. Look, it's clear that the only ones with the power to manipulate markets are the big institutions. It will never be the retail investor. This selling that pushes is smart money. It's not negotiable. It's not up for negotiation. All right, then the price goes up. Perfect. Very good, all right. If we know that smart money is here and we see that in this cluster later in the future, the price comes to threaten it. This level, if they want to keep going up, they have to defend it. They have to defend it to continue. If they don't defend it, goodbye, smart money. Result? That's why when we connected, we were visualizing how it was breaking, how it concentrated here in the cluster, which initially is not liked at all. As I had mentioned before, often the volume concentrates here, ends up being absorbed, and they leave. Sweet spot for buying. Sweet spot for buying. But when we saw this selling and that it keeps going down, what did we clearly see? Well, a very simple narrative. When we have a volume cluster so displaced from the origin of the candle, which is down here, so displaced, that cluster or that idea of selling gains strength as long as the cluster is not surpassed upwards again. If the cluster defends itself and defends itself, that's it, downward. That's why the idea had strength. The idea of looking for those shorts had strength. I told you to wait for it here, but no, it didn't correct to give us the opportunity to go down. But well, even so, it was already clear that the fish was sold, right? According to this, already started, and that's when it was said the fish is already sold. But well, the optimal entry point, undoubtedly after this very good signal, which is this level, which is pierced, the volume is placed below. All right? If you respect it, well, there it is. And then, when we've seen what we experienced together, which is absorption, the level of higher transaction has already moved, right? What have we experienced together? That the price, at a moment when it was down, surged violently and then dropped. That asks, what is it? Let me hear your answer. What's that violent surge and instant drop? What have they done there? Does anyone know how to respond, folks? Fabiano says, manipulation. Here are 3 colleagues saying liquidation. Liquidations. Correct. Yes, liquidations. It can be called many things. Yes, they've liquidated investors. They've gone for their liquidity, correct? Yes. They've gone to absorb them. Absorption, right? I prefer to say absorption. They've gone to absorb what they want, and then they continue with their show. They've gone to absorb. They've gone to liquidate. It doesn't matter. It's the same. We understand each other. That's why when we've seen that tremendous manipulation, well, no then, that's it. This is falling. What are we going to discuss here? If we've seen how they've manipulated the market right in front of us, what they've done to us, okay? Well, interesting. I wish this happened every day because it brings a lot of excitement. Look at the defense zone at the end. Well, pierced, right? Francisco is pierced. Well, bad. And well, they pierced it hard. What were we seeing? Now the volume is exaggerated. Before it wasn't so exaggerated, but it was big. And we were commenting, hey, watch out, this candle comes with volume. We have to see if that effort yields the result. And it keeps dropping, right? Do you see Bitcoin? I've said it, yes, it's just that this already... Look, why does it keep dropping? Because it's coming off a failed flat pattern with a flat pattern failure. Look the other way, Principio del Formulario. They've already tried to play the distraction game, the shell game, making us think we can go up. We know this story already. We know it already, it keeps dropping. Look at it fall. Look at it fall. Look how it falls. Look how it falls. Look how it falls. Well, from here on, let's not drag this out too much because in the end, we're just going to be enjoying our after dinner, as they say. Nothing. We have to keep prioritizing shorts. We have to keep prioritizing shorts. You'll see. A correction, wait for this to do what it wants. But a correction, no. This could be a good entry point to look for the short in Bitcoin, in Ethereum. Maybe I wouldn't look for it. Let's look at the altcoins. Let's see the altcoins if we close this, because otherwise I'd be here talking alone for an hour about all this. But no, we can't be clear here. No, damn it, don't start selling now either. It's a terrible idea to sell now. Sell at the top or sell if Bitcoin and Ethereum had given us that joy of going up 4 ticks to look for that aggressive scalping sale. We wanted to do this. They didn't want to. They didn't want to. I mean, either you sell well sold with a lot of anticipation or with all the argumentation about smart money manipulation that tells us where they are. If this is pierced, we're going down. It's been pierced. We tried to see if we could join, but it didn't allow it. They went so strong that they didn't allow it. The lesson here is also good to seek market anticipation. For the new ones who don't know, for each live session we enter, we start from the concept of going blank. We start from the concept of going blank, basically, because there are many members here. Many members will go long, some will go short, etc. So we have to create the scenario in which, hey, let's all start from scratch. What can we do? We always approach it with this perspective. Always, always, always. Otherwise, we would drive everyone crazy. You'd be crazy if we followed ideas from the previous live from 2 lives ago, 3, 4 ago. Imagine what this would be like. Imagine already what? Okay, let's wrap up. Phew, we've gone on for a long time, huh? But well, it's normal too, right? When things get like this, it gets... No. Manco says we buy the dip. Nothing. Here we have to keep selling after some correction, but absolutely no buying the dip. It depends on what you base it on, but no. Trying to be the smart one in the class who knows where the market turns around. Do you see how it keeps dropping? The fish was extremely sold, huh? I told you, huh? It was clear that once we've seen that flash in our face a bit more, and they put up a neon sign and smart money tells us we've sold. It was just missing that, not with what we've seen so aggressive. Okay, in a fleeting way, very fleeting, let's briefly look at the altcoins. Briefly looking at the altcoins, they didn't care. They didn't care. I mean, it's a drop that affected more Bitcoin and Ethereum, but well, Cardano is buried by no one. We're not interested. Look at Sol. Has anyone gone short on Sol from the top? Incredible. Ale says he was short. Look, the impulse, the channel, the range, and then the climactic action. What's this? A deceleration. I'm coming up with force. It's getting harder and harder for me to go up. It's hard. My body feels heavy. Crack. They break with force. And so what? Downwards. There's the black swan. Do you see it? It's what we've just experienced with B2B. It keeps dropping. Do you see it? The bearish force is already there. There it is. That's why I'm telling you, in any case, let this drop whatever it wants. Wait for corrections and look for short entries, okay? Wherever it may be. Wherever it may be is where you should look for that short entry. In general, huh? In crypto. Solana, spectacular. This Solana bar allowed for a textbook anticipation, a textbook one. Here we have dot. Here we have. Let's eliminate this. We have dot. Look at what dot is doing. All right, well, in the end, the message, wow. Look at that craziness. It keeps dropping, huh? It's clear. It's dropping so much already. Look, we already know where they're going, huh? We already know where they're going, huh, folks? Look at Ethereum. Goodbye. We already know where they're going, okay? The message is simple. It has room to drop. Here, strategies of scaling must be born. Look at how it drops, damn. Aggressive scalping strategies of re-entry. It's this. There's not much more to it. Look at how powerful they are in terms of the information they provide. I'm referring to this concept. That's why I've repeated it twice. This concept. Follow through here. What's happening here? Brutal. Well, the takeaway here is nothing. The strategy to follow here is to wait for corrections and be selling crypto due to all the aggressiveness we've seen and experienced. Those failures and attempts to break creeks in Bitcoin especially, Ethereum, which has already lost key defense areas, wanting to go to a higher one to close a gap, with altcoins, especially from Sol, looking for an extreme market which was losing strength and acceleration. That's it. We have to keep prioritizing shorts. Leave your opinion in the comments. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be be notified of future posts on YouTube. Good luck with your trading, and until next time.